माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा। जय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि गो। जय ओम विश्वपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्व श्रीमद् श्री भक्त सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्व श्रीमद् के जैसी भक्त वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। आनंद कोटि वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगामय यमुनामय की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru and Gauranga Hari Gopal की जय। नमो विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधान नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचार निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाचाच देस्तान. Thank you very much for joining. We're reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse number 23 and 24. Today's section. Contents of Gita summarized. नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावका न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावका न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः नैनं चिन्तन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावका न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः. No, never. Enam, this soul, chindanti, can cut to pieces. Shastrani, weapons. No, never. Enam, this soul, dahati, burns. Pavaka, fire. No, never. Cha, also. Enam, this soul. Kledayanti, moistures. Apa, water. No, never. Soshayati, dries. Maruta, wind. Translation by Jyotirasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Gopal Vijay. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Repeat. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Verse number 24. अच्छेद्योऽयं मदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो अशोषयेव च नित्यसर्वगतस्थानो रचलोऽयं सनातनः. Sanatana is important word. Sarvagata also important word. अच्छेद्योऽयं मदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो अशोषयेव च नित्यसर्वगतस्थानो रचलोऽयं सनातनः. अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो अशोषयेव च नित्यसर्वगतस्थानो रचलोऽयं सनातनः. Achedya, unbreakable. I am this soul. Adahya, unable to be burned. I am this soul. Akledya, insoluble. Asosya, not able to be dried. Eva, certainly. Cha, and Nitya, everlasting. Sarvagata, all pervading. Sthano, unchangeable. Achala, immovable. I am this soul. Sanatanaha, eternally the same. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried, is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Please repeat. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried, is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Try to understand. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Sri Gurum Devatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्. Thank you for joining. So we're discussing from chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized, verse number 23 and 24. Nice verses. As Arjuna is describing in the previous, this chapter 2 has 5 sections. So first one is we're in the second section today. First one is 1 to 10. More doubts. Arjuna's further doubts from surrender till sixth verse, and seventh verse is surrendering to Lord Krishna. No more doubts. No more. He's thinking that he can solve his problems by his own. So that's why he's surrendering, making Krishna a spiritual master. And then the next section is fight. Lord Krishna is telling fight. There is no death for the soul. Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga. That is 11 to 30. And then the third section is Karma Kanda or fight by performing prescribed duty. Even coming from the Pandu and Kunti, both families, mother side, father side, you should perform duty. You cannot run away from duty because it's too difficult to do. So you must fight. So that is 31 to 38. That is third section. And then the fourth section, 39 to gradually, you see, the soul and body, that is Sankhya Yoga, then Karma Yoga, then Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or Samadhi. So that in this way, that's why it's called contents of Gita Summary. All the yogas are laid out. Fourth section is 39 to 53 is Buddhi Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, or fight without any reactions. And then the last section is Samadhi, Asthita Prajna, or fight, become fixed in Krishna consciousness. In this way, this chapter is written. So today's verses are in the second section, 11 to 30. So here, few things are mentioned. Why? Because in the previous verse, Vasamsi Jirnani Yata Vihaya, Navani Grinnati Naroparani. So he's telling Yata Sirirani Jirnani, Anyani Samyati Navani Dehi. That's a famous verse. As the old garments are thrown away and take a new garment, like same way, Bhishma and Drona, why are you so much worried, caught up, and you don't want to do duty by being attached to them on a bodily external level? Give up this attachment because anyway they're going to get new body. Are you not? Are you attached to the clothes and you are keeping your old clothes from 5 years old till the 50 years, 60 years old? No, the clothes doesn't even fit at that point of time. It's always changing. Body is growing. So anyway, they are going to get new bodies, nice bodies, either material bodies or transcendental bodies. So what is your worry? Give up this worry, lamentation, and fight. That's why Krishna is giving that nice example. And 20 two verse. Now Krishna, then Arjuna may have a question and doubt in that. Okay, he may change, he may get a new body. That's all right, but then in the current body I'm fighting in, so then it may not be right. That's why he's giving this answer that actually you are giving a old body, and they are getting new body, like old dress and new dress. So you should not be worried. But his point was maybe soul will get hurt, soul will be killed, soul get damaged, soul. So in that way he's thinking. So to remove that doubt here, Krishna is telling that Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. Chindanti. This verse, next verse is connected. Both verses are connected. Chindanti means one cannot cut. Soul cannot be cut. Because first of all, we cannot even see. That is also Prabhupada explained that. So far, Lord Krishna started giving explanation on the body and the soul. Body is temporary, body is not enduring, soul is permanent, soul is fixed, soul is unchangeable, so unbreakable. He's giving all. And it is eternal, it is full of consciousness, it is active. All these things he's telling. Positive way. Now he is giving negative way. Because you can't see, obviously, things you can't see, then you may not understand. But then what it is not, then maybe you will understand. So here in these verses, these two verses, Krishna is telling in a negative way. In the material world, or sometimes people have to tell what it is not. That means then you can understand what it is when you tell what it is not. So here also, that's what Krishna is telling. It cannot be cut by any weapons. Nainam chindanti. Chindanti means cut. Shastrani means weapons. That is coming from Sas Dhatu. Shastra, Shastra, Sishya, all these are coming from the same root. Anywhere this is used, that means a discipline is coming. And Shastrani. Shastra is to creating, giving the discipline to the practitioner, giving discipline to the living entity. It is like the rules of the government. And Shishya also is coming. Disciple means submissive. He is being disciplined by the spiritual master. That is his disciple. One who follows the discipline of Guru is disciple. So Shishya, same thing. Sas dhatu. Shastra, Shishya, weapon. So also, so in that way we have to understand. Shastra is like weapon, like rules. That the first soul cannot be cut. So don't worry. Bhishma and Drona cannot be cut. Their soul cannot be cut. No. And then second line he says, Nayanam dahati pavaka. Dahati means burning. So it cannot be burned either. So Prabhupada explained that these days only one thing they know. They create atomic bomb, nuclear bomb. That only they know. But in the olden day it is not like that. So the bombs or things can be created. Bombs or the arrows and various instruments, various things can be created either with earth, either with water, either with fire, with ether. All these five gross elements they could now they can't create. If somebody releases the element of some bomb or whatever arrow with fire, then they will counteract with a water weapon. You must have seen in Doordarshan and others Mahabharat serials where fire Agni bond is coming. Then what is water is called? Varuna bond is coming. So like that. The air, so different element they are using, different weapons. But nowadays, now we don't. They are scientific great. They're thinking they're great, but they don't even have that kind of system. They haven't come up with. But in the previous days, all the wars used to happen like this. So that is also one way you can understand from this verse. Prabhupada explains. The soul cannot be cut, soul cannot be burned. Dahati means fire, Pavaka, sun god's name. There are, I think, 49 of them or something, or 53 of them, I think 53. 49 plus 3, or 52 or 53. Three of them names are Pavana, Pavaka, Pavamana. So one of the name is fire god. There are many fire gods. So one of the name is here mentioned Pavaka. So Nainam Dahati Pavaka. So you cannot burn the soul. And then the third line says, Na chainam kleda entyapo. That means you cannot you cannot moisten by water. So he's using the weapon earth element, the fire element, the water element, and the air element. The last one is Sna Soshayati Maruta. Maruta means wind god. So Vayu, as Bhima and Hanuman, Lord Hanuman are the Vayuputras. So are incarnations, some form or the other. So like the Naso said Maruta. So Lord Krishna is telling, don't worry. Soul, you can't cut it, you can't burn it, you can't it is insoluble, you can't moisten by water either, neither you can moisten by water, nor you can without by the wind. Because you can't even see. So minute, so teeny, 1/10,000 tip of the hair. So what can you do? You can't do anything. You can't even see, you can't do anything. That is the Krishna is describing here. So what does it mean? So first thing is Lord Krishna is explaining in a negative way, is removing that doubt because he thought maybe soul will be killed or soul will be burned, soul will be damaged, this or that. So that's first why Lord Krishna is giving that. And then next is why he's explaining a negative way. Then the next is Mayavadi sometimes gives their understand. They say that right now we are conditioned, but at some point of time we become Brahman, we become God. So, or they give the example that also that Gatakas, Patakas. That means you take a pot, and then within the pot there is a sky, and the outside the pot also there is sky. So if you break the pot, then the sky inside and outside merges. Same way, we are Brahman, and right now we are conditioned, but at some point of time it merges. So we become one. We are also God. So that is their idea. Brahman Apalyam. So God is one. We are God, you are God, I am God. I am Narayana, you are Narayana. So this is the Mayavada philosophy. And that's why they call, so sometimes they use Swami Narayan, there is the Narayan, this Narayan, that Narayan, but Narayan is Narayan. Narayan no one else can claim that position, Narayan position. Lord Narayan is Lord Vishnu. So that cannot be used for anybody else. Paramatma is there in each and every living. It doesn't mean that you can start calling Swami Narayan or Chicken Narayan, Goat Narayan, this Narayan, that Narayan, everybody is God. No, that is not the case. In this case, clearly, in this verse and next verse, repeating, Prabhupada explained that if you are going to use explain something with some example, then it has to have points of similarity, analogy. If they are going to give analogy, it is not similar because one you are comparing with the matter, another one is comparing the spirit. How can it be similar? You cannot compare like this. The sky, the matter, the pot is matter, and you are comparing that inside the sky in the pot versus outside the sky. No, but the soul is not matter, soul is spirit. So how can you compare with a limited understanding? So that's what they give these kind of examples. So that Krishna wants to remove those doubts. So it can never be. So that's why it is soul is always eternally separated part and parcels. Mamai vamso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Eternally separated part and parcels. The souls are individual and eternally separated part and parcel of God. Aham bija pratapita. We are the sons and daughters, part and parcels of God. So, but it's separated. It is not that at one time we are in God, we are been cut. So that's why next verse also is signifying with those things. So basically here we have to understand that it never be that merging. We can individuality of the soul is always individual wherever it is, where in this particular ant body or Indra body, Brahma body, or it may be merged into Brahman, doesn't mean that the soul becomes super soul. No, that is not the case. Even Vaikuntha, when the soul is soul always, individuality is always there. It can never be merged with the super soul, the Supreme Lord. That is not the case. So, small sky, these are the examples. It cannot be merged. That is the first point. So, the matter has no individuality. Because if matter doesn't have consciousness, matter has no individuality, then how can you claim and compare that example with the soul? So, that fails. They cannot explain that. Next is the living entity never loses his individual identity, which I was explaining. And then living entity without any touch with this, living entity is not in touch with this material world in original position. Asangoyam Purusha. Purusha means living entity. Purusha generally used in reality, actual Purusha is only Supreme Lord. Everybody is Prakriti. Means everybody is female. In the sense that he is the only master, everybody else is being enjoyed by him. That's why he has created. Why he has created the whole living entity, this material world, the spiritual world, his own amsas, his own expansions, the female counterparts, the consorts of the Lord. All is for his own, and he is the master. Ekala Iswara, Arasabha Vritya, including Lord Balaram, all the different various associates of the Lord, all are his servants, including Lord Vishnu. So that's why Lord Krishna expands himself, Lord Balaram, then four quadruple expansions, Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna Anuruddha, again he expands, Lord Narayan, then again he expands, again Vasudeva Sankarsana Pradyumna Anuruddha, then three Purusha, various, so many unlimited incarnations. All this is to this whole Brahmanda maintaining and exchanging rasa with so many, each and every living entity as a specific rasa. It could be same rasa, like as friends. We may like the same gulab jamun, but we have different rasas. Not everything is same in any individual you take in this world. It can never be same. Something or the other differentiation. So when Lord is exchanging rasa, obviously he is getting relishment. The person who is exchanging also is also getting jiva is also getting relishment. So that's the individuality is never lost at any point of time. But those who choose, you can choose. The Brahmavadis can choose to become merged into Brahmana. That doesn't mean they are becoming a super soul. That doesn't mean that they are becoming God. It is the liberation. One of the liberation is they are entering into the fire. They are entering into the effulgence. Means it is just a particle, like a sun is giving the sun rays. So each and sun, the sun rays has sun particles. So that means we are just the sun rays, sun effulgence, the rays are coming. So Brahman effulgence in between the material and spiritual worlds, that area is called Brahman effulgence or Viraja river. So that Brahman effulgence, the soul will be going there and merging there. Means that you will stay as a part, as a ray, as a sun ray, as an atom, as a small soul. Because soul is anyway small, Anu, and Lord is super soul is Vibhu, is great. Uh, So in that way, so it never become merge, even when it is in Brahman apple. It stays as a particle. Since because we are minute, we can be covered up. Just like that. Can cloud cover the sun? No, it covers us because we are not able to see the sun for a time being. Some particular portion of a country or a city or maybe a whole country, even if we take it, only covers limited portions. But cloud can never become cover sun because sun is so big and gigantic. Cloud is only teeny portion. Same way the soul is only teeny because it's teeny, because the example is given as a fire particle. Like if you see in the yajna or any sacrifices, the fire will go and the particle, somehow the particle will come out like that. So when it comes out, what will happen? Where it falls. If it falls again in the fire, then it will burn. If it falls on the water, it will stop. So like that, the same condition. The jiva is so minute, so small that minute he thinks that I should enjoy, I should be the master, then finished. He is here in the material world. He thinks that he wants to be with the Supreme Lord. He wants that I want to be the servant because that is his original position. Then he will be there in the spiritual world. Jivya Swarupe Nitya Krishna Das. So that's the individuality. The point is individuality is never lost at any point of the journey of the soul. Anybody it may take. So it never, that is the strong point we are seeing from Lord Krishna explaining this last almost 20-30 verses in this particular first section, 11 to 30. Then we are seeing here the next point is about Lord Krishna is explaining from the using the same verse. Is explaining that is refuting basically the scientists, believers of the soul in other planet, the fire, because that's why soul cannot be. He is giving the example. Soul cannot be cut, burned, or moistened, or dried. That means none of these things work. The fire, the air. That means soul can go anywhere in the whole Brahmanda, in the material world or spiritual world. It can go anywhere. It never gets damaged. It doesn't get changed. It is unchangeable. It is unbreakable. It stays as it is. Satchidananda. That's why Asangoyam Purusha. Originally it is Satchidananda Vigraha. But since it is accepting that I want to enjoy and the master, I want to be the master, then that's why we are here. In the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you see the verse why we are here. Icha and Dvesha. Icha Dvesha Samatvena Dvandva Mohera Bharata. Because of the accepting the duality, icha means why Lord only the master, let me try, let me become the master. Then immediately we are here, because you living entity cannot be master in the spiritual world. Living entity is only servant in the spiritual world. In the material world only we can be master. So that's why we are here. Icha and Dvesha. Second is one wants to be the master. Second is envious of the Lord. Why? How? Why he should be the only the master? I should be the master. So then we are here for those two reasons. Why we are here in this material world. So in this, so basically here refuting that, because since it is cannot be born, cannot be withered, all these things. That means soul can go anywhere. Soul can be in a fiery planet, sun planet. Soul can be in a moon planet. Soul can be in water, just like the aquatics. So, since we cannot live in water, doesn't mean that there are no living entities. Because we are able to see the oceans and rivers, there are fishes and sharks and timinglas and big, big things, whales and whatnot. So many living entities are there. We are seeing it. That means we are thinking, okay, they are there. The soul is there. So some many times they don't even accept that animals have soul or the trees have soul. So that's how much they know. They are aware. But here, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining the whole Vedic knowledge everywhere. Pretty much, it is explaining that soul is there in every atom, every living entity, every the where means air, fire, water, in the fairy planet, the sun planet, because that especially that they have a big doubt. They don't accept. Because in the fire, how can some? Because you cannot enter into fire doesn't mean you cannot stay in the fire. Doesn't mean that there is no living entity. So that's why in the next verse, Krishna is emphasizing Sarva Gatus Tanum Achuloyam. Sarva Gata means everywhere soul is there. There is no place it cannot enter. And souls are devas are there everywhere. Just like we are in the earthly planet. The people may say that those who are in the lower planets, which is made up of like the sun planet, they may think, oh, there may be no living entities on the on the earth element on earthly planet. But that is not true. Same way that if those who didn't have experience of any ocean or river, they may think that there is no living entities in the water. Yes, human beings cannot live much longer in water. Doesn't mean that there is no living entity in water. So that's why Krishna is telling here, and these four things are explaining, refuting the scientists and non-believers and whatnot. So basically, their ideas and thoughts that soul can be there in any of this, but it requires qualification. In order for us to go to sun planet, we have to attain certain qualification to enter in sun planet. Then we get that body. In this body, you can't go. Same way, in this body, you can't enter into Vaikuntha. In this body, you can't even enter into the heavenly planets. And just like one country to another country, you need visa. Same way, our qualification, Yanti Devratan, Devan, Pitruni Yanti Pitrutan, Devani, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja, Yanti Madhya Jinopimam. So if one worships Yanti Devratan, then worship demigods, then he will enter in demigod planet when he comes to that qualification, on that pious credit. And then if he worships Bhutas, Pretas, then he will go to the above earthly planet. There is a planet, Bovar Loka. There is subtle bodies. So bhutas, pretas, whatnot. And then the both Yant Devratan Devan, Pitrunyan, if somebody is too much attached to the forefathers, grandfathers, whatnot, then they will go to there is a planet, forefather, Pita planet, where our 1 month is their 1 day, another 1 month is 1 night. That is the difference. But the heavenly planet is our 6 months is their 1 day, another 6 months is 1 night. That means our whole 1 year is their 1 day. They live for 12,000 years like that. That is the day duration. So all these are there described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So here the point is soul can be there anywhere, any planet, and it can go depending on the call. It's not that since I'm here now, Bhagavad Gita is telling that I can go. No, you need go. You can put rocket, Sputnik, whatever you may want to put, you can put it. But unless you have proper qualification, you can't just enter without any proper qualification. Like without visa, no, there will be a checkpoint. You will be caught if you don't have proper visa and stamping. You can't enter here. Same way, moon planet, all these, those are much higher intelligent people. They're smart. They won't allow anybody to enter without proper qualification. It's not like earthly planet security or some or other you can escape and enter it, like in Mexican borders or something. No. In higher planet it is much more sophisticated. Just like in the earthly planet itself, when Lord, who's that? Banasur fought with Lord Krishna. At that time, you can see the description. What kind of amazing things he has put. No one can enter into his palace. He has put with various things. So much he has created. This is in earthly planet. You can understand what kind of sophistication is there in the higher planets. You can just enter it. So that is another aspect here it is mentioned. So how the soul can go anywhere, it can stay anywhere, it can live there because that it is a Sachidananda Vigraha. If it has qualification, if you earn, somebody has earned qualification, you can go. It doesn't burn. Soul can never be burned. Soul cannot be without. It can be in water, it can be in the air. So in this way, Krishna is giving the examples. The next point is inconceivable. It is inconceivable because it's the soul's characteristics in the way, as Krishna is describing each and every aspect is because we never heard any of this. We have no idea what Krishna is saying. But more you think about it, use your intelligence, then yes, it makes sense. What Krishna is saying. So that is it is inconceivable. Achintya kalure bhava tam starkya. It is not by logic and argument. We have to corroborate, we have to look at the example what Krishna is giving. Nice examples Krishna is giving and explaining everything so that everything is refuted. You can just use a logic and argument, but this has to be understood with proper devotion and the association of devotee, then we can understand. That is what Krishna is explaining, that it is inconceivable. This experience is inconceivable because more we don't hear, more we are not in the association, more we don't know what Krishna is saying, then it becomes inconceivable. But more we hear, more we know, then it becomes very easy to understand. Yes, I am the spirit soul, I am not this body. But it takes time. Practice takes time. Theory we may know, but practice takes time. So inconceivable power. If the soul itself is so inconceivable, so even though it's so teeny, they can understand how much God power and it's beyond our capacity to understand how much omnipotence, omniscience, how much he has in terms of his knowledge and power and fame and everything. So, and Prabhupada also explains that just like if ourselves when we sweat water is coming, so what is the big deal for Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu to fill half of the universe with water? He could produce oceans and river, he could produce. So because from his breathing it is, we are producing so many things, small things, then why Lord cannot produce? So we are so minute, so he is so gigantic and great, so he can do anything. So that way. And then so the another point also in this case is even at the time of annihilation, none of the material things will act. That means at the time of annihilation, what will happen? Soul doesn't die. It is some I have this kind of theory also. I forget what it is called. Vaibhashika. Some Sanskrit term is used. Some has this idea that once this body is finished, finished. It is bag of chemical. Then okay, we'll give you chemicals. Produce a one living entity, one ant, one mosquito. Can you produce? So far, they have no one has able to produce, but he can produce because soul. Soul is soul. Soul is not created by someone. Soul is coming from the Supreme Lord. It is eternally separated part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. That is the position of soul. It cannot be created by anyone. So and that is the point here, Krishna. Even at the time of annihilation, the souls, either they enter into the, like the partial annihilation is there, just like during one day of Brahma, 14 manus change, manvantras. Like right now, we are in the Vaivasvata Manvantara. So, Vaivasvata Manvantara, I think this is 51st year of Brahma. Total 100 years, the 51st, Ditiya Prarthe Svetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvata Manvantare, Jambu Dvivev, so like that. Bharata Kande, if you are in India, you are here and then Mero, Pachima Pone, so different things will come into picture. But it is the same. So we are in the Vaivasvata Manvantara. In Brahma's 51st day, it is running. So all these things are mentioned. So the each day of Manu, each day of Brahma, 14 Manus there, and each time Manu changes, then there is a partial annihilation. At the end of day of Brahma also there is annihilation, but it's still partial. When the 100 years Brahma's time is over, then the whole universe goes back into abdominal Mahavishnu. Then again comes. But the partial annihilation means only certain planets, like below earthly planet and below. That changed. When the Manus change, the demigods also change. Just like when you see that new CIO comes, new CEO comes, new department head comes, he will bring his own people. The same way here also. So when the Manu change, the demigods also, the new demigods will come. Means position, title, and qualified persons will be allotted to this position, this position. Indras, Chandras, who's going to take care of the water, who's going to take care of the air, who's going to take care of the fire, like that. These are just for each and every element, who's going to take care. It's positions and qualification, who are meeting qualifications, they will be assigned to that particular. So when the manmantras, this Manu change, then the demigod change and the partial annihilation is there. So at that time also the souls will go into the abdomen of Mahavishnu, then again come back and go into particular planet, particular country, particular place, particular city. So they could be human being or they could be any other. Kine Punya Matya Lokam Visanti. No one is exception to this. Lord Brahma also, because he is also Jiva. Indra also, he is also Jiva. All these demigods are not gods. That's why they are demigods. Because they are highly empowered, higher powers are there, higher qualifications. That's why they are demigods. But they are not gods. But we think they are gods. We think that everything is same. You worship Indra, you will get the same result as if you worship Chandra or you will worship any other. No, it is not the same. Different results are get in each Upanishad, that particular verses are there. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna is telling in 3-4 verses in 7th chapter, in other chapters also, again and again repeatedly the position of the demigods. In this way we can. So the idea is the soul will enter into particular. They will go to higher planets or they will enter into abdominal Mahavishnu and the partial annihilation. Then again they come back. It is not that soul has merged, is gone. No. Soul is always then. Even if he goes to the higher planet, even if it is not annihilation time, when this body is finished, okay, he has earned some pious credit, then he will enter into moon planet or heavenly planet, sun planet, whatever other planet. Then once he is done, pious credit enjoyment is done, then Shine Punya Matya Loka, then he will fall down where he began. Just like you come with a 8-year visa, 6 year general H1B. When you come here, your time is up. What will happen? Where you will go? Go to Earth planet. Go to the India where you came from, where originally you were born. So your visa expired, then you have to go back. Same thing here, like that. Prabhupada explained with that example, visa example Prabhupada gives. That same way, the living entity who goes to the heavenly planet, higher planet, once his pious career done, he has to come back to the this earthly planet, same place where he went from. But he could be human being, he could be any species of life. So he could attain. There is no guarantee, but he will come back to the earthly planet. That is the point. Even at the time of annihilation, soul is always there. It's not soul is finished. Is a create new soul is being created. No. So the individuality, that soul is always there. So it's up to him whether he will want to go to low or high, what he wants to do, how he wants to use his opulence, the free will, whatever bank balance is being given. So that is what we have to understand here. And the next, so in that way, that is the 23rd verse. Now, the 24th verse, the continuation of this particular 23 verse. And 23 is using the fire, the water, the air, what is the other one? The cut, the earth. These four elements are used. Now, the four elements repeatedly is giving another way. He is telling that Ache Joyam. It cannot be. There he is telling that soul is there. Nainam Chandanti. It cannot be cut, it cannot be burned. Now he is telling this individual is telling in a different way. Achedyoyam. Same thing. There also Nainam Chindanti. Here Chedya. Same thing. So there in this case it is individual soul is unbreakable. So there he said it cannot be cut. So he's telling in another way as unbreakable. And then he's telling that insoluble means if you put soul in water, that means soul has entered into water. Doesn't mean that soul will lose its and it will merge into water. No. So for soul there is no merging anywhere. Soul is soul. Where he sits on a tree doesn't mean that he will merge into tree. He will become a tree. No. Soul never can become individuality. Individual jiva can never become God. Yes, he can enter into the spiritual world, or he can enter into the higher planets, or he can enter into the Satyaloka. He can become a Brahma because it's a position, it's a qualification. Doesn't mean that he has changed. Soul has changed. No, soul cannot be changed. That's why he is telling that unbreakable, insoluble. So even if you put water, it can neither be burned nor dried. Adahya, Achedya, Akledya, and then Asosya. So all these things. Then he's telling the last two lines are also important. Nitya Sarvagata Stanur. Nitya means eternal. Soul is always eternal. It is not that as soon as the body is finished, the soul is entering into another body immediately. Another mother's womb. Whether this planet or higher planet or lower planet, or if he is liberated, then he will enter into spiritual world. So that is Nitya, eternal. Then Sarvagata means soul is everywhere. I covered already. Sthanu means is fixed, is immovable. So you cannot move. The soul is there. Like in this particular body we have, it is there in the heart. Isvara sarva bhutanam hruddeshor jana tishtati brahmayadis antra rodhani sarva maya. Krishna is telling that it is like this body, the soul is taking, it is like an instrument. Uh, it is like an instrument. So today you have this human body, tomorrow you may have ant body, or dog body, or cat body, or demigod body. So it is like instrument. So you are not like a, today you are driving Honda, tomorrow you may drive Toyota, another day drive another car. So the soul is using this particular place, or that it is a place. It's a place of action, place of enjoyment, using these things. The same way the soul is taking up this one. So that is a, but soul is unchangeable. Soul is immovable. Soul is there in the same place. In this body, it's in the heart. Isvara sarva bhutana hriddeshvartana. He didn't say that senses or mind or intelligence or somewhere. No, it is in the heart only. Scientists cannot even find where heart is getting its energy. They know that red corpuscles are there, because of that blood is flowing, because of that the heart is working. But where heart is getting energy, they don't know. But Shastra explains that the heart, the soul is there. That's why the heart is functioning. But who's giving the energy to the soul? Super soul is there. In each and every, even in the ant, there is super soul. Any living species, each and every atom, super soul is there in the material world. So that's why everything can exist. Otherwise, soul cannot exist on its own. Super soul is guiding. Super soul is there always. including even demigods also. So in their bodies, super soul is also there. Soul is both are in the same teeny position, 1/10,000 deposit, but super soul can expand. Soul cannot expand. Like when Parikshit Maharaj was protected by Lord Krishna, when Brahmastra was released by Saddama, then Lord Krishna showed, expanded there, it is explained that from teeny position to thumb size, 9 inches or so. Then Parikshit Maharaj was able to see. Then he came out and searching, where is that Lord whom I saw? So he was, and that's his Parikshit is searching for that Lord. So in that way, we have to understand that this particular point that none of these material things can act on the soul. So because these are material things, the air, fire, water, earth, ether, five gross element, Mahabhuta, they can't act on the soul. So that's why he's telling Arjuna basically, don't worry, Bhishma Drona, he can't do any of these weapons, nothing. He can't do anything with the soul. It is unchangeable, it is immovable. So that means he's also telling that you cannot, the Mayavadis, Brahmavadis, they claim that merge into Brahmana. No, there is no question of merging. Soul is always soul, individuality is there, it is immovable. You cannot even merge it. Immovable. You cannot merge where you are going to merge. You put water, it is not merging. It is individuality is still there. So it is that's why Krishna is explaining these things from a different understanding, different meanings are there in these particular two verses. Next understanding for this verse number 24. So now first thing is none of the material things can act on the soul. That means we have high power to utilize. We are not utilizing. We are not fully full utilization of our power. The soul has so much power, so much potential. But because we have to come to that enlightenment, then actually it has enormous power. It can understand things. It can do wonders when it comes to that highest level. The free will also increases more. Right now we have independence, we have free will, but it is less. It is less actually. Because more we become servant of Krishna, more we understand, realize our position, realize our supreme Lord position, then more free will be given, more choice, but we will not utilize it for wrong purpose. Right now, because we are using a wrong purpose, then we are restricted, we are controlled, our free will is less in comparison to the pure devotee. Um, so that's what it is. Then next is the second point in this verse is then we can transport ourselves if we have proper qualification. That also I had explained before. Many places that is there. Kshine punyam arti lokam visanti. So Aryanti Devaratam Devan, Pitrunam, those verses is clearly giving details that how living entity goes from top to down or down to up, depending on what he does, transporting ourselves to the higher planet or lower planet or Vaikuntha planet. It's up to him what he wants to do. So that is the next aspect. And then we have to choose karma kanda or gnana kanda or upasana, what kind of activity we want to do. Then accordingly we'll go higher planets or go to Vaikuntha. It's up to us. The next, that means basic point instructions are be intelligent. One must be intelligent. Don't keep unwanted ambitions. If we can go and get the highest ultimate benefit going to Vaikuntha, then why to go? Sometimes we are, anyway, I'm going to Delhi. Let me stop in Dubai and get some gold and see various places. So like that, yogis think that before I go attain the highest destination, attain liberation, let me go and see what is there on the moon, how I can enjoy, what kind of enjoyment is there. Why to see? If the spiritual world has that all kinds of enjoyment, what is there in the this anywhere in the material world is incomparable. It's nothing. Then what to experience? Why to experience that? So one of my friend used to say that my childhood friend. Life is to enjoy. You should try coffee, tea, everything you have to enjoy. Otherwise, all life is boring. That's what he said. So that's how some has this kind of understanding. What can you do? What can you do? So because that's why it needs some transcendental knowledge. It requires some introspection, some thoughts, some thought process, especially receiving this knowledge from the enlightened personality, as well as the transcendental supreme personality of Godhead through the bona fide spiritual masters, those who are fully enlightened, fully pure. then they can give us actually real happiness, real enlightenment, real enjoyment. Where is real enjoyment? Where is artificial enjoyment? So that's why Krishna is explaining all these things with a nice example. So point is, be intelligent. Don't keep unwanted ambitions. To again, why to come back? Okay, you'll go there. You'll stay there. No, you'll come back again. So you better go. Try to aim for the best, the topmost, the perfect thing. Why to go another planet, then again finish the time waste. You come back here. So that we have to decide. That's what Prabhupada is telling that. Be intelligent, be thoughtful, be kovida. So nivritta tarshairo pagiyamana. So become free from these so many desires. I will go here, I will enjoy here. So I will take this vacation, that vacation. So then is also bringing another point that is also very crucial for these two verses. Sanatana. Sanatana means eternal. Right now, we are being conditioned. So that is an important instruction in these two verses. Sanatana. How we can actually gain our original position back. So Sanatana means eternal. So Nitya Sarva Gatasthanu Achuloyam Sanatana. So Sanatana means Sanatana and Sanatan Dharma. First, we have to understand our original position is Satchidananda, always happy, having happiness, eternality, and knowledge. Sat means knowledge, Sat means eternal, and Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means happiness. That's why we never want distress, but the distress will come naturally as happiness coming. And no one wants to die because we are eternal. That is our natural position, natural quality. And we are always looking for knowledge. As soon as child is born, is touching, is feeling, is trying to eat and trying to put in mouth and whatnot. Always looking for knowledge. So this is the natural characteristics of the living entity, the spirit soul. That is Sanatana. And then what is our Dharma? Jivya Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. That is our actual original Dharma. It is not, but right now we are in Asanatana Dharma. It is impermanent. We are making temporary impermanent solutions. We are thinking that is permanent. So we are trying to settle for making permanent settlements in temporary place. Then how long can it continue? Our buildings, our cars, our cell phones, whatever. We may try to accumulate, we may think these are all permanent, but none of these are sanatan because everything will go away. So that's what Krishna is trying to emphasize about this. That's why the sanatana is there in so many places throughout Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is explaining in so many different ways. Parastasmat bhavo vyakta avyaktat sanatana. So that was భూమిరాపంలో వాయుధనం అపరేయం ఇతస్తు అన్యం ప్రకృతిం విద్ధిమే పరం జీవభూతం మహాబాహు ఏదం దారితేజలు or the next verse. So in two or three places Krishna is explaining, or even many more places. Or the mamai vamso jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana. Eternally the soul is there. Eternally they are part and parcel of me. Separated part and parcel. Because separated, why is saying? His own means Lord Krishna is expanding in so many Matsyavtar, Kurmato, Rahavtar, so many innumerable. They're all his swamsa, his own amsa, just like in family we are like in the particular family, there his own family. But when outside, it could be cousins or even the outsider completely. Then they are outside. So they are not completely inside circle. They are outside circle. Like that, the Lord, his own incarnations, the male and the female, the counterparts, consorts, divine energies, internal energy, Hladini Shakti. That's why Hare Krishna Mamta Hare. Hara is internal Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi Devi, Durga Devi. Coming from all from Srimati Radharani, gopis come, Lakshmis come, Durga Devi, all female energies come, the consorts. So they are called. So she is called Hara. Hare, we call it as Hare when we chant like that. So Krishna and Rama is the and the male personality, the Purusha. Everything coming from Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So in that way, we have to understand here also. So basically, Sanatana, eternal. Lord is eternal, we are also eternal, but right now we have become conditioned. We'll come to that point soon. So that's why Sanatana is important. So Krishna, Mamai Vamso, Jiva Loka, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So we are eternally. The living entity, the Jiva is eternally there. Eternally Satchidananda Vigraha. That is the point, first point. Then we have to understand our what is our dharma, Sanatana dharma. But right now we are trying to keep ourselves in this material world thinking that this is permanent. So just like even the old man trying to become young, and young man is trying to become, more anger. They're trying so many different ways like that. Something or the other we are keep trying, but we are thinking this is permanent, this is going to stay. No, our skin doesn't stay permanent. It's always changing. Nothing will stay permanent. Neither our hair, neither our nails, nothing is permanent in this world. So that's the whole material world is going on in this objectives on the blindness, objectives on the impermanent things, objectives on the impermanent desire. That's why it's called durasaya. Prahlad Maharaj explained. Nate vidur swartha gatim. They don't know the real result, real end goal, the ultimate goal. Nate vidur swartha gati. Gati means ultimate, ultimately at the end what you are going to get, but they don't know in reality ultimately what they're getting. When they give up this body, then I have to enjoy and suffer. Everything is finished, and again next life again they have to start over, learning everything and going through the education whatnot. Same thing, earning money and whatnot. All these things again and again they are starting over. The happiness distress is continuing. So, so that we have to make the real permanent desire. Don't have the artificial impermanent desire. Be intellectual, be intelligent, be kovida. Durasya. Don't be led by the blind people. Don't be follow the blind people. So there Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, gives the solution how one can come out from the asanatan dharma. Asanatan. Right now we became like that. So impermanent as temporary, as permanent, we are thinking. So bhutva pralide. So that's why Krishna is telling that, okay, now you understood. Oh, Arjuna, so living entities, please use your intelligence and come back to me soon. Use your consciousness and try to purify your consciousness. Otherwise, you will be like Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. He's seeing, but he's not seeing. What's the reality? He's seeing only his own son. How he can enjoy, how he can also see to him enjoy. So that's all he's thinking. So that's why every one of them, all 100 sons were killed. He knows it's going to happen, but still he didn't realize he was so caught up in that. So that is what is that attachment or absorption. Then what we have to do? So Krishna explains as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one must do. First thing is one must engage in the process of chanting, hearing, kirtan. Yes, what is that? Tat Shraddhadana Manayo. Yad Anudhyasena Yukta Karma Grandhi Nibandhanam. Anudhyasena Yukta means it is like to take a sword of sharp knowledge, transcendental knowledge, sharpen your knife of that intelligence, sharpened knowledge. Yad Anudhyasena Yukta Karma Grandhi Nibandhanam. Grandhi means like a heart, like a knot. These all these impermanent, so many desires. That's why I mentioned that Nivritta Tarshair Upagiyamana. Only way you can actually release the chanting, release the hearing, release the Bhagavad Gita, release any transcendent, release the darshan of the Lord, release the arati, anything in relation with the transcendental subject matter. You can only release if you give up the lower desires, lower, that means you have to be more and more learn about it, understand it, be in that association. Then more and more you know, then more and more you understand, oh, there is better things, there are healthier things, there is a natural things. Then then automatically we give up. Just like when we know healthy diet is there, we'll give up. Oh, why should I eat all this and get so much unwanted things in my body? Let me give up this and I follow healthy diet. Same way. So when we know that much more healthy in terms of the soul. Right now we are thinking for the body we are following healthy diet, but then what are we doing for the soul? Gross body we are trying to do, subtle body we are trying to do always, but what are we doing for the soul? Soul also we have to do something. So that is what this spiritual Vedic culture will now reach the soul. That's where the happiness is distributed to the gross body, subtle body. We always will be so much in bliss when the soul is actually nurtured. So that's why Krishna is stressing the one thing is we have to give up unwanted association. Tato dussangam ustrijya. Dussangam means any unwanted. That means including the mind. Mind is also bringing so many thoughts from so many lifetimes. Dussanga. So that we have to somehow or the other purify. Toto dusanga musrijya sastu sajjeta buddhiman. One who is buddhiman means intelligent. Then sattu sajjeta. Sajjeta means he has to purify that by taking the shelter of Santa Evasya Chindanti. Evasya means Eva means only. Santa Evasya Chindanti. You will cut just like the Chindanti is used. Nainam Chindanti. Who can cut actually our bondage? Who can cut the impermanent desires? Like Prahlad Maharaj instructing Hiranyakashipu. So like that. So Narada Muni making this 10,000 sons of Daksha Prajapati into great devotees. So Prachina Barhi. So Prachetas. So many examples. Valmiki. How Murugari hunter became Valmiki. This is all Narada Muni converting them into devotees, enlightening them with transcendental knowledge. What is reality, what is not reality. So that's why here Krishna explains, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains, Santa Evasya Chandanti Mano Vyasangam Muktibi is specifically calling out. It is not so much about others. Don't blame that, oh, he is giving me this pain, he is giving me this problem, that problem. Through his association, I have learned to engage in religious act. No, it is not to be blamed. It is our mind. Our mind is to be blamed. So that is first we have to fix our mind by proper association, proper hearing, proper reading, proper understanding from Vedic culture. That's a Mano Vyasangam. Vyasangam means mind has so many vyasanas. Vyasanas means unwanted things, unwanted thoughts, unwanted proclivities. So that has to be purified. How? Santa Evasya Chindanti. One must take the association of the devotees. And here, so that's what he's explaining. To Lord Krishna to Uddhava. He's telling the same thing. This is the same exact verse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quoting when he's describing to, I think, Sanatana Goswami. No, this is in the Adilila beginning. Krishna Askaras Goswami. I think this is speaking to, I don't know who is speaking to, but it is Lord Krishna's directly speaking to Uddhava in the exact same verse. Quoting Pururava, how he became somehow, he was a devotee, nice devotee. Somehow or other, he got attracted by Urvasi. And then later on, he realized how I wasted so much time. I didn't even know that these many years I wasted. Then he realized, then he went back. He became completely detached. So, quoting that, then he's telling that. So, don't now you have to give up these kind of association. Santa Ivasya Chandanti. That is the first thing. Then one must engage also in Sankirtan. More than that's why when you go, especially Nagar Sankirtan, especially in Western world, we do much more. India also some places it happens. That gives more energy, more. You can feel it immediately, even though we have no idea what Krishna consciousness is. Minute we are in Sankirtan somewhere in the outside streets, people are chanting. Many, even not only here in US, Russia, Japan, so many places. You will get. I'll post some links. Beautiful, amazing kirtan they do. None of them are Indians. All Western people only. Amazing. And so sweetly they sing. And people, so many people immediately gather. And so that's why when you are hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially if you hear from Prabhupada, how did they come otherwise when Prabhupada started? So in Tompkins Sanskrit, he didn't add anything. He had Indian body, but he had a hard, his Bengali accent. It's hard to understand, but by the Sankirtan only, so many souls are attracted. So that's why the purity is because this Sankirtan is not coming from material world, this sound vibration coming from Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. It is called Shabda Brahma. The Shabda Brahma, the Vedic sound, the Omkara or the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one is impersonal form, one is personal form. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is personalities. Srimad Radharani, Lakshmi Devi, it's like that. And Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, these are personalities. Om, we don't know. So it is impersonal. So, but he can't even chant Om because you need to be Brahmana. So to chant the Vedic mantras. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra, anybody can chant, whether you are in the bathroom, wherever you are. You are pure state or impure state, wherever it doesn't matter. Nothing. No rules and regulations. Obviously, you can chant on the beads. You can't go to bathroom and take the tulsi beads and chant. That you can do. But you can chant on your fingers, you can chant in your mind, anywhere, anytime. No bar, no restrictions. But Vedic mantra, you have to be pure, you have to purify your hands and purify this, purify that. So many rules are there. But for Sankirtan, for chanting the holy names, there is no restriction as such. So that's why that is the key project, especially because that is the Yuga Dharma for this age anyway. And that's why he's telling this particular verse. We'll finish it in 5 minutes. So on the Maya aspect, why the Jiva is conditioned, why he is making these impermanent desires, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains further. माया मुक्त जीवेर नाही स्वतः कृष्ण ज्ञान जीवेर कृपाय कैला कृष्ण वेद पुराण. You can say, I can conquer this Maya. I can conquer this impermanent. No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna is telling here, you cannot by yourself, you cannot do it. Maya Mukta Jiver Nahi Swata Krishna Gram. By your own self, you can do it. Then what you have to do? Jiver Krupaya Kaile Krishna Veda Puran. That's why Krishna is telling that I am giving you the Shastra, I am giving you the Sadhu, then you have to take shelter. Shastra, you take shelter, but you yourself can read, but you cannot understand what Shastra is telling. And who will understand? You have to associate with sadhu, you hear from them, then you can understand. Then you can come to me. That's what Krishna is telling here. The conditioned soul cannot revive his Krishna consciousness by his own effort. But out of causeless mercy, Lord Krishna compiled the Vedic literature and it supplements the Puranas. And then further he says, Shastra Guru Atma Rupa Apana Rajanan Krishna Mora Prabhu Trata Jive Rahayagnan. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master, and the super soul. So Lord Krishna himself is expanding these three. One is super soul, another one is Shastra, another one is spiritual master. So this is not different. So that's why he's telling in Uddhava in 11th canto that spiritual, who is spiritual master? Aham mam vijaniyam na avamanyeta karichit. Two things one should not do. Thinking that the spiritual master is ordinary human being, matya buddhi, it is not different from me. I am expanding myself as spiritual master. Aham mam vijaniyam, acharya mam vijaniyam. The bona fide spiritual, the pure devotee is not different from me. Acharya mam vijaniyam. Na avamanyeta. Don't be envious and don't think he is an ordinary human being. Na avamanyeta courage. Na buddhya asuyeta. Don't be envious, don't think he is ordinary human being. These two things are offense. Then you will be, it's not good for the progress. Na buddhya, na asuyeta, na avamanyeta courage. Sarvadeva Mayoguru is representative of all demigods. Even demigods will be ready to offer worship. As pure devotee walks in, then they are always ready to worship them. But we will see many examples throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. When Narada Muni is walking in, when the Navayogendra is walking in, when the four Kumaras is walking in, even the Lord himself, like Prutu Maharaj, is incarnation of the Lord. He also got up, gave the position, his own king position to four Kumaras to sit, for them to sit. So this is the etiquette. Even Lord Krishna himself does it when Narada Muni comes. So because the respected, highly respected position of pure devotee, bona fide spiritual master especially. So that is the representative of even all demigods. So that's why he is worshipped. That's why we chant in the morning. Nowhere in this world you can see that. You wake up the Lord in the morning Mangalarti, what you hear is Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda. Because this is the Lord's instruction. Lord himself is controlled by the pure devotee. So that's why he gets great relishment. He wants to hear. He runs behind pure devotees. Krishna is telling that. Nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam sarva bhuteshu. Puyayet angri renubhi. I am running behind them. I am being glorified throughout the world because I am running behind pure devotees. Because of them I am being glorified as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna himself is telling in the 11th canto to all these things. That's why when we hear, obviously, as I gave example also, why is that so? Why somebody likes that? Like when somebody comes and glorifies Father, but he'll be happy, obviously, he'll glorify. But if somebody glorifies Father's son or daughter, then immediately they'll be more happy. Oh, he's glorifying, oh, my son is doing nice things, my daughter is doing nice things, then he'll be more happy to hear. Same way, Lord Krishna also, when he hears that, oh, my servants, my pure devotee, so he has done such an amazing things, they're glorifying, then immediately Lord becomes alert and is ready to be ready to hear what they have to say. So that's why it is very prominent. Pure devotee's position is higher than the demigods. So that's why pure devotees murti is there in all our temples. So Prabhupada especially, his murti is there. Where it is opposite, obviously, but on the altar, where it is at the feet. They are not thinking. Krishna is thinking they are my closer, they are the topmost, they are most important for me. Krishna is thinking so close, so attached to them. But what spiritual master is thinking, I am the servant at the lotus feet of the Lord. He is thinking as a menial servant. He is not thinking. Lord is thinking they are the topmost. I am running behind them. But Guru is thinking, I am the servant of Krishna. I am not a master. I am not a Lord. I am not God. So that's why their pictures are all at the feet. It is not nowhere else. You will not see anywhere else. Especially in all our temples, that means if Guru himself is servant, thinking that he is menial servant, then what is our position? So we should be always acting in this way. Then our Maya, our illusion, our allurements, our unwanted desires, our impermanent aspects, whatever we have in our consciousness, everything will be removed. This ajnan, timira, andakar, so will be removed very soon, quickly, by taking this kind of association, this transcendental knowledge from Lord Krishna. So that's why here Lord Krishna is stressing this particular point of Sanatana. In this today's verse, that is the key point, is how we can come to our, right now we are not there, we are somehow or the other accepted some temporary thing. How we can come to Asanatan to Sanatan, how we can purify, what is the way to purify, so that we can be situated in permanent happiness always. Will not be we won't be bothered by anything happening surrounding us, above us or below us, whatever may happen in our office or at home or outside, wherever. Nothing will bother us. We'll be always situated in permanent happiness. And when we leave this body, also we'll enter into Vaikuntha, we'll enter into spiritual world. So either way, in this material we will be very happy. When we give up this body, also we will not have any fear, because when we perfect, then no fear. Parikshit Maharaj had no fear. Takshaka bird came and killed, no fear. He just happily, because it's not there. Like Vritrasura also has been told. Vritrasura was a dead demon. Indra was released his Narayanastra, not Narayanastra, his thunderbolt. The Narayan Kavacha was there. Then when he released, until Vritrasura, he was a great devotee, even though he was a demon. Until he himself has given up, he went into Samadhi. His hands been cut off, the whole body, only his head was there. So everything is cut off. He can't even fight. At that moment, he went to Samadhi. He's completely remembered the Supreme Lord, and he went back to Vaikuntha. He was in Samadhi. At that time, Indra released, Indra killed. So their acharyas explain that he didn't actually kill. It is actually the Indra is the one who's been killed, because he's still trying to enjoy in this material world. Vritrasura, even though he was a demon, he was a great devotee. He was so much attached to the Lord, he was remembering, then he went back to Vaikuntha. So that's why it took 1 year, 1 full year to chop the head off. The head was so stiff because he was in Samadhi when Indra released. So that is the position of the pure devotee. He is not at all bothered how they are being killed or what is going to happen. They are not at all afraid. Vritrasura, that's why speaking so confidently to Indra, fight with me, come on, why you are running away from me? Because when somebody has so much enlightened with all knowledge, then what is, because he's not on the bodily platform, so he doesn't have anything to worry. Body can be cut, body can be burned. What is the problem? I am going to get a permanent spiritual body, so I have nothing to worry. So the fear, everything will go away. Right now we have fear. Oh, what will happen to me tomorrow? So that fear is there because we still have this not enlightened fully to that level. So it requires a lot of practice. As we keep reading Bhagavad Gita, as Krishna is here telling, then we can come to that level. It just needs practice. That's all. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Gundaraj, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Let's see if anyone has question. Otherwise, we'll end. Already it's 17. Okay, unmuted. Anyone has questions, comments, anything you want to add? Ashish Karana Prabhu, you have no questions? Almost busy. Okay, we'll conclude here then. धन्यवाद। श्रीमद भगवद गीता की जय।